have understood from the title, this is yet another reaction video to Enjoy Enjaami. And yeah, in a way I'm cashing in on the popularity of the song right now. But beyond that, I would say that the song actually made me do this. I had plans to start a channel, and would have happened a few weeks later. But then this song came onto the stage with such a force that there's no way that anyone who's interested in the arts could deny how much it affected them. That's the reason why I decided to make a video on this, and I hope that my take on it would add value to at least some of us, right? So let's get on with the song right away. So at the outset, I should have said this before, but let me tell you that there are going to be quite a lot of pauses because obviously it's a reaction, and this is where it starts. Pause number one. As many of you would have seen, observed, the song begins with the primal beat, the pare, the drums that are beaten, and then you also have some sort of primitive dance form. Might not be primitive. Could be one of the traditional dance forms of Tamil Nadu. Maybe it could be Karagatam. You have the feet of a dancer wearing the anklets. The feet, stepping to a rhythm. And you have the wild cry, the tribal, yodeling kind of, war cry or choral cry that happens along with it. So these are the primal sounds, and a convergence of all of these is what starts off the song, and that is a good note, right? Let's continue. God, there's every time I listen to this part, I don't know, it kind of makes me so happy. And I'll tell you which part of the song. People who are familiar with the language, with the Tamil language, would understand how Arivu, the rapper, the lyricist, he enters the song by egging on the singer or the chorus or the crowd that's watching the song, and he goes on with an first, and then he says abre, and that word abre or that call is something that people who have experienced what a group or a medley dance would be familiar with. That's how you're egged on to dance, you're pushed on to dance, and that immediately makes this a very peppy number, very danceable number. Right. Good. Continue. Pause 3. That part where Arivu, as some of you who have seen his interviews and who knows about this person would understand that Arivu is telling the story of the earth, of the past, through his grandmother's words. And when he starts off the narrative in this song, he switches his voice to his granny's voice. And that part is an amusing and an amazing part of the song, because it instantly becomes drama. You have characters, you have the earth and you have the people, the new generation that's talking about what's happening around, and suddenly you have the grandmother's voice getting into the song, into the narrative through Arivu. And the way that he switches, that part is amazing too. See, there are people who try the different voices and it's not new. But the way that he blends it, and the transition is so smooth, it's not an immediate, yodeling kind of, switch. But the way that he says, talks about his grandmother and says he's looking for his glasses, it could be his reading glasses or his coolers. And when he looks around for that, his grandmother enters the scene by telling him, "Dada perandi," and by that time, the voice is already switched. And great, beautiful. Let's continue. This, I believe, is something that some of you might have noticed, where the chorus, along with Dhee, they carry off from Arivu's, the transition, the granny's narrative, with the same voice, in the same voice. They start off with the same tone, and that is a smooth blend. Beautiful. Oh, that part, Arivu steps into the song talking about the history of the people who created this land by toiling on this earth, and building out of this earth, be it pots or stoves, and how they enrich the land with their sweat. And as and when the prose, the poetry progresses, there is a part wherein he goes with, Janjana Janak Jana Makle word. That is a usage that's probably just a filler in most of the songs. Jana Makle means, population, the people, the crowd. But the way that he blends that into the song is so seamless and it seems so organic. And I think that, but only a lyrical genius could come up with something like that. I was imagining if somebody else were to write a song, or if it were given to somebody like a layman like me, if there was a part where I needed to add a verse and nothing comes to mind, I would have added something that would have looked so plastic. But Arivu's Janjana Janak seems the best fit for that part. Let us continue. As many of you would have experienced, this song has been successful. I wouldn't say that it started off with the intention to do so, but you will have goosebumps throughout many parts of the song, and this is where it begins. There's the first part where you you start getting goosebumps, where Arivu's grandmother talks about the trees that she planted, or the 5 trees that she planted, and how well they've grown with water, but how her throat remains dry. Now, you can consider anybody, any farmer or anybody who toils on the land as the protagonist in that particular narrative. Beautifully done. As and when it gets over, the way that Dhee carries on with the different elements of perspective of the land, of history, Nilami, Tadami, I forget all of those, but that part is beautiful. Again. This part again is another area where I felt that the poetry was not translated in the best manner. The caption says, when his grandmother asks, what's the matter with my sugarcane? What's wrong with the sugarcane? What's wrong, my dear son, is what the captions say. But in Tamil it says, Yenchella perandikki ennakura, as in, what is lacking in my dear grandson? How is he lacking? That's a question that the grandmother asks. And I believe that that's a question that is directed against the system, against the society, which probably says it. Yeah. I'm sure that many of you would have experienced, and this is again another area, another part of the song where you definitely would get goosebumps, and if you're really living through the lines, I'm sure that it will be more. It could well up, and maybe you could tear up, like what I've experienced multiple times, even right now. Where I don't know what kind of poetic imagination would permit a person to just use something like a canopy of bitter melon or bitter gourd, just like that in a line, and make it sound so sweet. Words says, Pandalile Pavakya. So as continuing with this narrative, he just simply says that, and says that that the canopy, the generosity of the earth had given us a canopy, and the seeds that were left over, handed down generations, that were left over by our parents, by dad and mom, and the voice in which, the pathos with which it is sung, and the way that Dhee carries on with it, with her humming. I don't know, it's beautiful is the word again. So, like it began, the song ends with the tribal cry, and maybe it's a call. Maybe it's a call that that's where we need to look at to connect to the earth again, to our collective, nature, that we have. Anyways, one hell of a song, and I'm sure that many of you have understood the essence of the song. And it was amazing to see that a lot of reaction videos that especially people who are non-Tamil, people from abroad, even without the lyrics, they were able to feel the song. And I remember this reviewer called Dad's Den, who went through the song multiple times, and he had a second video on this. And even that, when he was going through it, through the lyrics and understanding every bit of the emotions, he was going through the chills, goosebumps multiple times over, and he would pause multiple times, and you could literally feel it in his whole body. You could just see it happening to him, and those were beautiful moments. And this is how well art can speak to us, music can speak to us. And I believe that this is again one more moment in history where art has proven to be the connecting factor. Beautiful, amazing. So I guess that's about it. And okay, I need to say something more about this. But if there's one person that I believe has contributed much to the feel of the song, I believe it is Santosh Narayan. And I have reasons to believe that. I'm a follower of Santosh, and I've been observing his work from quite a long time. And I believe that he's the best musical talent in the industry, in the country. He's the best music director in South India. And, of course, there is currently no claim that there is another better one from North India, but he's the best. And I think the bigger portion of credit should go to him. That's my take on it. And this, as I said at the beginning, this wasn't intended to be my first video. I had plans to start off the channel sometime later. But because this song came out so powerful and literally swept the whole world, and currently is doing it too, I thought that probably let me ride the wave. Let me just tell the world what it means to me. And that's how it started off. So we'll meet you again in my next first video. Thank you very much. Enjoy.